Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Paige, here once again with another American Horror Story Hotel review, and this is episode 4 entitled Devil's Night, aka the Halloween episode. Now, the Halloween episode is probably one of the best episodes of American Horror Story that you usually get throughout the season. I think this episode was pretty good for a Halloween episode. Usually, isn't it extended? I think it is a tiny bit extended, but this was like about a 45-48 minute episode, which is usually how long a normal episode should be. But regardless, there will be spoilers in this video, so if you've not seen the episode, go check it out before you come and watch this video if you want to. But if you are still watching, leave a like if you go on to enjoy the video, leave any comments on what you thought on this episode, and subscribe if you are new. So the episode starts with us actually meeting our first serial killer for this episode. Now, the episode actually is based around this event, and it's on Devil's Night, and it's where all these famous serial killers actually come to the hotel. So the first serial killer we actually meet is Ramirez. Now, there actually are inputs from other serial killers which aren't invited to this event, one of which has to do with Miss Evers. Now, a lot of people were asking, what's Miss Evers' obsession with these sheets? Why do the sheets always have to be cleaned? And I don't know if this is completely why, this is my interpretation. In my opinion, we learned that Miss Evers has this obsession about the sheets because in 1925, I think it was, she lost her son on Halloween, and what her son was actually wearing on Halloween was, you know how like those literally basic as hell ghost costume, where it's literally just a bed sheet with two holes cut open, and that's a ghost? That's what she made for her son, and everyone else was wearing like fancy like cowboy outfits and like different like characters and stuff like that from that time period. What actually happens is her son is abducted by the serial killer known as Gordon Northcott. Now, Gordon Northcott was a serial killer who was involved in the Wineville chicken coop murders. Now, she actually reveals this information to John Lowe, who actually goes and researches the murders and finds out that they took place in 1925, and actually sees a picture of Miss Evers in 1925 in like all black and white and stuff, which sort of freaks him out. But we move away from that, we actually focus on Alex, which is a bit of an interesting bit for this episode as well. Now, as we know, at the end of last episode, Alex actually met Holden in the hotel when she was leaving, and she actually brings Holden back home with her, but something weird happens. Holden kills their pet dog because he goes, I'm thirsty, and everyone watching us, okay, he's thirsty for blood obviously, but she doesn't know that. Goes to get him juice, comes back, and the dog it looked dead. It was like still moving, but it probably died. But Holden essentially tells Alex that he wants his other mummy, which is pretty heavy on her, but they both go back to the hotel, where Alex basically finds out everything about what's going on with Holden, but she learns this all from the Countess. Meanwhile, with John, because this is like an Alex and John episode really, we don't really interact with any of the other characters that we could have. But John is essentially sitting at the bar just having a ginger ale, and he actually runs into another serial killer that we're going to meet for the first time in this episode, and that is Aileen Wuornos. Now, if you're not familiar with the name Aileen Wuornos, if you remember that movie in I think it was like early 2000s, Charlize Theron actually won an Oscar for it. She played, the movie was called Monster, and this is basically a film about Aileen Wuornos and all the murders that she did. Now, some stuff happens, and John and Aileen actually go back to John's room, where she actually attempts to kill him. You could have expected that. Like, John knew who she was, but obviously he thinks that it's a Halloween costume and everything like that. Now, when John actually goes to complain about, oh, this crazy chick just tried to kill me, he actually gets invited to the Devil's Night event, which he's a bit confused about, and he's like a suit in his bed and all that stuff like that, so he ends up going to the event anyway. And this was probably my favourite part of the episode, because I think if you've watched the trailers and stuff, we saw some imagery of like John Wayne Gacy, so we knew that he was going to come and play into this series somehow, and everyone was predicting Halloween. But I love this bit, probably my favourite part of the episode. This was the actual Devil Nights event, where we actually meet John Wayne Gacy, who is actually, I'm going to call him Killer Clown, or the Clown Killer. I can't remember what his actual nickname was, but that's how I know him. We meet Ramirez and Aileen Wuornos again, but we also meet Jeffrey Dahmer, which is pretty interesting. And I think the guy that played him did a pretty good job of like being this like nervous dude, but then going to this like erratic personality when he was given what he wants. And then we also met the Zodiac Killer. Now, if you don't know who the Zodiac Killer was, it's basically the serial killer who goes on unidentified for like he's still unidentified, but he did all these murders. I think it was like in the 60s and 70s, I think he was. I might be wrong. Maybe late 60s, early 70s, something like that. But the cool thing in this was that we actually learned, well, in this universe at least, that Mr. March had come into contact with all these different killers before they started killing, and he was like the one that inspired them and gave that motivation, that extra push forward to become the serial killers that they were. Hence why they were calling him Master and stuff like that. I was wondering when they were gonna, if John Wayne Gacy was gonna put in his makeup, and he finally did when they went and murdered that dude. Which actually Sally came into play there when she brought him in for those drugs, and he went absolutely, well, not overdose, but he was all high and stuff like that. And the last thing we see in this episode, which I was surprised, I didn't think they'd do it this episode. I thought they might have stretched it out for a bit, but Alex actually comes back to the hotel, to meet with the Countess so she can be transformed into a vampire, so she can be reunited with Holden, which I thought they might have done if she got really desperate. But now I'm thinking, what happens to Scarlett? Because is Alex going to stay at the hotel, and like Scarlett's just like, I'm at home by myself, where is everyone? That's what I'm thinking. So I'm not too sure what they're going to do there. But hopefully like John and Scarlett somehow team up, and well, she's a vampire anyway, so I'm assuming that maybe everyone becomes a vampire. I don't know. Anyway, I really enjoyed this episode. I'll probably give it back a 4.2 out of 5. As I said, the Halloween episodes are usually my favourite. It's maybe like sometimes like an episode or two before the finale. Those are really good episodes, but I really like this Halloween episode. And yeah, so definitely 2 thumbs up. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave any comments on what you thought on this Halloween episode of American Horror Story Hotel, and subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.